We need to know the difference between our job and our work. That will affect the way you live. That will go a long way in determining how successful you become in life. Whether or not you achieve your goals in life will be affected by your understanding of the concept of job and work. Now, before we go further, I need to call your attention. Have you ever paused and then looked around to view nature? A fish in the river swims freely, it walks, but it doesn't worry. The same applies to all the animals. But in the case of man, be an intelligent being created with the potential to progressively create. Man case comes with additional responsibilities. So you see, man can acquire skills, man can learn, man can be trained, but this training brings another side effect, which is the fact that man has a tendency to replace the gift he was born with the training and the skill he has acquired, calling it a job. And so most of what we do is job. Why God created man for work? When God created man, he placed man in the garden of Eden. He said he should work, he should dress it and keep it. That's work. The gift you are created with, the gift you are born with, the talent God has put in you, those natural abilities in you, that is your work. Your life, your future, your greatness is tied to your work. On the other hand, your job is what you are trained to do. What the academic system prepares you to do, in most cases, is a job. And so, job is what you do to earn a living. Some people call it your 9 to 5. What you do from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening. What do you do? That's most likely your job. But if you know that your job is not your work, your job is what you do to earn a living, but your work is what you do to express the talent, the gift of God in you. That is your work. And how happy you are going to be in life, how successful you are going to be in life, determines on your ability to focus on your work. All great people in history, nobody can say he became a millionaire because of his or her job. If there is any, it will be those who turn their job to their work. Your work brings you a fortune. Your work gets you a life. You make a living from your job, but you get a life from your work. You make impact in the society through your work, not your job. Your job helps you to pay your bills, but your work helps you to touch lives, to make impact, to exercise the mandate, the dominion mandate that God has given you. Your assignment on earth is your work. That's where your greatness lies. No man can achieve greatness, true greatness in life, without focusing on his or her assignment, his or her gift, his or her work that God has given him or her. And so this day, I want you to ask yourself, have you been focusing on your job? Have you been able to discover your work? If you have not, this is the right time. Your job keeps you from paycheck to paycheck. You keep waiting for salary to come, and it never meets all your needs. Some people say salary is a medicine given you to make you not to feel your poverty, so to say. So salary can never be enough. The times where we live has made that obvious. So nobody will say he doesn't know that. You need to get a life, and that can only happen through your gift, through your work. So God created man to work, and your assignment on earth is to discover your gift, your talent, and then develop it, work on it until you become what God has put in you, until you become what God has designed you to be. That is your work. To work on yourself, work on your gift, Work on your talent until it begins to be a source of impact and livelihood for you. For example, a teacher, maybe you can teach from 9 to 5. Daytime, you are employed. You teach. At the end of the month, you get salary. At the end of the week, you get salary. You get paid. That's your job. But that same gift of teaching, you can use it, can begin to teach people, can begin to speak, can begin to write, can begin to document things, and then publish it as a book, put it online, make impact, and before you know it, that same teaching begin to make you a name. People begin to hear your name, your impact. We want to see you. You become a celebrity in that, through that gift of teaching. You become an expert in teaching a particular concept or subject that you are known for. And so people begin to make a demand on you. And that is what gives you greatness. That's what brings you recognition in life. That's how you become significant. Because you have developed your gift, you are so proficient in it that people want to pay you anything to have you utilize your gift for them. In other words, you get paid doing what you enjoy doing, and you get paid at a higher rate compared to when you are doing it just for payment sake, for salary sake. It's important that you discover your gift and build on it, turn it to your work. That is what will bring life for you. Your job is your employment. Your work is your deployment. God created man not to be employed, but He created us to be deployed. In other words, you do things that come to you naturally. You do things not because you want to be paid. You exercise your gift and talent to make impact, to add value to the earth. That is deployment. That is your work. That is what will make a life for you. That is where your greatness lies. And I pray you discover your talent, work on it, and then make it your work. According to a popular preacher, a man of God I admire so much, late Dr. Miles Morrow, he said, your employment should prepare you for deployment. In other words, it's not wrong to be employed, but when you are employed, see it as an opportunity for learning, for development, to prepare you so that eventually get deployed and not employed. Deployment is the use and the serving of your gift to the world. That's deployment. Your future is in your gift. Your future is in your work. Your future is in your talent that God has given you. Think beyond your job, so that no matter your age, no matter how you feel, no matter whether you are paid or not, you are busy serving your gift to the world. For example, you have the gift of music. You discover that music. Be a teacher and then be teaching music and say, okay, I'm okay with that. But another person have the same gift of music, can sit down, work on his or herself, develop that skill, learn the instrument, develop the voice, learn the skills, play them, and then begin to sing. Begin to sing at his or her free time, her personal time, the time he or she is not employed. When you have left your place of work and you are back home, what do? That period, that's what decide how you are going to live your life after the timing. That's what will decide how successful you're going to be in life. At that time, when you are off your office hours, the man who is gifted in music can begin to practice, take classes, take training on music, train the voices, learn how to play the instrument, and then begin to sing. Practice singing and begin to sing, and then release album, and people begin to hear the beautiful voices and begin to get invitation. Come and sing here. Come and sing it. Before you know it, it begins to make impact. The name becomes a household name all over the world. Why? Because he or she discovered his or her gift and used it, instead of the other one who decided to stay employed. So the person talented and gifted in music that chooses to be deployed and work on herself or himself will achieve more success and happiness in life than the other person. Matter of fact, research has shown that when people are not happy in life, in their marriage, in their place of work, is actually because they are misplaced. They have not discovered their gift. They have not discovered the work God has put in them. A man who is not happy financially, is not happy in his or her marriage, trace it. It will be because he's in a wrong work. He has not discovered his or her work. When you see a man who has discovered his or her gift, her work, and turn it to work, that person has a higher chances of becoming successful and happy in life, in the family, in every aspect. Why? Because God created man primarily for work. And when you get it right in area of work, you are likely going to get it right in every aspect of your life. That is why it's important to take the time, take the pain, discover your gift, discover your talent, work on yourself until it begins to pay your bills, until it begins to work for you. You use your gift and solve problems of the world. You prosper in life. Job prepares you for your work. When you get a job, it's a great opportunity. See it as a training stage. That's why they say, do not work to earn, but work to learn. In other words, let your job be a learning stage for your work. Your job is an opportunity to get paid while learning. Get a job to learn, not primarily to earn. Work means becoming. Becoming. In other words, God has created you for something, and you need to work. Work is the process of becoming what God has put in you. That is work. There are infinite potentials in every man, but that is what you see, just a potential. If you leave it at that, nothing more. But if you take the pain and the time, invest time, resources in that potentials, develop it, before you know it, you become something God created you. For example, a musician, once again, you have a talent, you have the potential to sing. Good voice is a potential. The interest to sing is a potential. But if you don't work on it and develop it, it will just be there. But when you work on that ability, work on your voice, work on that interest, and it becomes part of you, you become a global icon in the music world. The same applies to all fields of human endeavor. You have the gift of speaking and writing, for example. You like to teach. Who say you can't teach online, globally, speak in conferences and seminars, and get paid far higher than what you receive if you confine yourself to a traditional classroom teaching? But before that happens, you need to develop that talent. You need to develop your ability, your speaking proficiency, your speaking ability. You to build yourself to become someone that everybody would like to pay just to hear or listen to. That is why it's important to work on yourself. Your work is your seed. The seed you are born with. That when you sow it, there is no limit to what a seed can be. It is commonly said that you can count the seed in an apple fruit, but you can never count the apple fruits in an apple seed. In other words, seed have great potential. That gift of God in you is your work, and that's your seed. It has great potential. There's no limit to what you can be, you can achieve in life if you work on your work. You need to work on your seed and turn it to a finished product. For example, if it is music, you have the gift, that's a seed. But your ability to develop yourself, and then until you are able to produce music, put it in album, put it in CD, and then distribute it all over the world, it becomes your product. God expects you to turn your seed to a finished product and export it to the world, distribute it all over the world. That is where your greatness lies. That is where your prosperity lies. That's where your joy lies. That's where your impact. That's where you become significant in life. And that's God's plan for you and I. Stop waiting for things to be all right. Begin right now. Work on yourself. Work on your work. Daytime you may be employed, but after employment, what do? Use your time profitably to work and develop your seed so that you can live a life of joy, a life of significance, a life of impact that God have ordained for you. I pray that you will achieve all the dreams you have in life, and that can only happen when you have developed your seed to a product that can export it to the whole world, that everybody wants to take a bite of it. See you at the top as you celebrate your success. God bless you.